When you're performing a calculation, we are assuming you are performing a calculation based off a measurement performed by somebody else. Therefore, you need to record your answer to the appropriate number of sig figs based off the precision of the numbers provided to you within that calculation. To do this, you have to follow the rounding off rules. These hopefully are just a reminder. If the first digit dropped is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you raise the last digit kept by 1. So if we have a value of 598.16 and I want to go to 3 significant figures, what I do is I want to start with the first significant figure provided to me. That's going to be the 5. And I want to make sure that I go to 3 total sig figs. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw a line because that's separating my significant figures from my throwaway digits. The first digit in my throwaway category may or may not affect my estimated digit, that last significant figure. Because it is a 1, the last digit, and this is what we call our estimated digit, remains the same. Had it been a 6, that would have caused the 8 to round up one more, and we would have had a number of 599. Either way, we have that last estimated digit. Essentially, what it is we're doing is in that gray zone, are we closer to the 8 or are we closer to the 9 within that rounding? Use scientific notation when necessary, especially if you have insignificant zeros and you need to have the appropriate number of sig figs. Add a decimal if you need to make a 0 significant. And it's really just good practice to always put a decimal if those digits are significant in the end. Multiplication and division are by far the most common mathematical processes that we do perform. So it's the rules that you will be using most often. The rules for multiplication and division are that the answer has the same number of significant figures as the least in the problem. The least, this is the one that tells us the precision of the device we are working with. Therefore, that its precision dictates the overall calculation. Looking at this first question, 3.410 times 3.0. I suggest pausing to make sure you can put this in your calculator and you can follow along with my work. When you multiply these two together, in your calculator you get 11.13. That is all the digits that the calculator provides to us, but it does not tell us anything about the precision of the measurements in which we are working with. Each number that started the problem, we want to determine the number of significant figures. In this first number, we have 1, 2, 3. Because this 0 is trailing a decimal, it is also significant. So we have 4 significant digits in this first answer, or first number. We have 1, 2 in the second number because that 0 trails a decimal. Because 2 is less than 4, our final value needs to have 2 significant figures to represent the least precise measuring number. We have 1, 2, draw our line. The discarded 1 does not affect that first digit. Therefore, our rounded number is going to be 11. And the next one, 0.0004 times 217.38. Plug this into your calculator and you're going to get 0.086952. It's a lot of digits we don't necessarily need to care about. Go back, determine which number provides us the fewest sig figs, or which one's the least precise. We always have to start with a significant digit in counting. So 4 is the first digit we get to. None of those zeros matter because they are not significant because they come before the first significant digit. So there's 1. Our second number has all values, so that's 5. Therefore, our response needs to have one significant digit. Those zeros do not count, so I go until I find my first significant value. That's going to be the 8. I only want one. Draw my line. Does my discarded 6 cause the 8 to round up? Yes, it does. So my final answer is 0.09. Addition and subtraction are different in the fact that they look at decimal places. So you want to round your answer to the same number of decimal places as the least in the problem. So it's the decimal place in which we are looking at. First problem, 3.71 plus 82.5. When you just go to add this up, you get 86.21. However, precision of my two instruments are not the same. Because we're adding them up, we want to go with the least number of decimal places because that means that that device has the smallest amount of precision. If we look at this first number, 3.71, that estimated digit is in the hundredths place, which means it has two calibrated marks at the ones and the tenths. Whereas in the second value, the 5 is our estimated digit. That 5 is in the tenths place. Therefore, it is less precise than the first number. So our measurement can only be as precise as the least. Our final result can only have a value in the tenths place. Then we ask ourselves, does that discarded 1 affect the 2? Does not. So our final answer is 86.2, representing the precision of the least precise number. We do the same thing with subtraction. So we take the 19.37 minus 2.1600, and you're going to get 172,100. Looking at the precision of our two numbers, the first number has a precision to the hundredths place. The second number has a precision to tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000ths place. The first number is least precise. It has the fewer digits in that decimal area. Therefore, we can only have two decimal places within this value. The 0 does not cause that 1 to increase, so our final answer is 17.20. I'm not perfect. I made a mistake. For some reason, I dropped the 1, and so the answer should be 17.21. Last, we need to understand orders of operations. This is from math. It's mathematical rules, what takes precedence. What really matters here is if you have a mathematical equation that performs more than one mathematical process. Orders of operations then have to be taken into account. So PDMOS stands for parentheses. So any numbers within a parentheses must be solved first. If there's an exponent, then, so if we have 1 plus 2 plus 3 squared, the 1 plus 2 plus 3 must be answered first. So we're going to have 6. That exponent, I don't know why that keeps erasing, then gets solved. So then we have the 6 squared. And you'd go and solve that 6 squared, 36. So that's the PE. MD, multiplication, division. AS, addition, subtraction. PEMDAS, you need to follow the rounding rules prior or with each operation. So if we have addition in these parentheses, I must follow addition rounding rules prior to moving on. So if we have 3 times 2.0 plus 3.00 plus 2.10. I am pushing my limits of doing math on the spot right now. Okay, so I've got to solve within the parentheses first. My first set of parentheses has multiplication. I'm going to follow multiplication rules in that parentheses. So 3 times 2.0, we have to go with the least number of sig figs in the numbers provided. Therefore, we have 6. In my next parentheses, I have 3.00 and 2.10. They have the same number of decimal places. Therefore, I have 5.10 as my number. Then I've solved that parentheses. I can then move forward with the calculation we have here. So 6 plus 5.10 is going to give us 11.10, but because we're doing addition at this point, we can only go to the fewest decimal places, which is none. Therefore, the ones place is occupied, and we'll get our number. So you need to follow the PEMDAS if you have multiple different mathematical operations occurring in one problem.